Hi everyone, this is Annie Santacoy, and this video is just the instructions for week 4. It's going to be a short week because of Labor Day, so you don't have to do any outside readings. You don't have to read a chapter from a book or an article. All you need to do this week is review the materials in the week 4 module. And it looks like a lot of pages, right? But each page is actually really short. When you go into it, you'll get some videos, sometimes you'll get like a couple paragraphs of text, but most of the videos are going to be less than 5 minutes long, and there is one longer video. I made a more in-depth library tutorial because I think that a lot of people maybe have trouble using the library to find academic articles. But that one is a bit longer. It's 30 minutes long and it's at the end of this module. But I wanted to just show you how short these are. And also, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can hit next and it'll take you to the next page. I didn't know that until very recently, so anyway. But the title of each page is up here, so you'll know where you left off. Anyway, this week we'll be going over what a peer-reviewed academic article is and MLA citations. So we're going over this partly because in week 2 I noticed that a lot of you had trouble, I think a lot of you misunderstood what I meant by academic article, and I think it's really important that you all understand it because an article published by a university or just an article talking about, on the web, talking about something that relates to what we're talking about isn't necessarily an academic article. I can see how you would make that assumption, but what I mean when I say academic article and what all of your professors are going to mean is a peer-reviewed academic article from an academic journal, like the Journal of Popular Culture, or I think this is the Journal of Chemistry. But these are different because academic articles from academic journals, they're also called scholarly articles, or just so you know, they go through a more strict publishing process. Peer-reviewed means that they are submitted to a group of their peers, people who also know about chemistry and everything, and each article submission is reviewed to make sure that everything in it is legitimate, that all of the sources are correct, and that it is actually academic and they're not just saying whatever, which you can find on the internet. So it's really important to know the difference, and it's really important to be able to find these kinds of articles for your papers now and in the future. So in the library tutorial that I have in Module 4, I take you through all the steps of searching for an academic article and for a book, which is also academic. But I don't think I ever told you about how to actually download the text, so I'm going to do that real quick. This is completely out of context, but once you watch the library tutorial, it'll make sense. So when you get to a detailed record from the library website and it says PDF full text, you just click on that and it'll bring you to something like this, and this bar will show up right here, and you just hit the download button and it'll download it for you, and you can save it from there and then read it on your computer, or you can hit print, and if you're in the printing lab you can print that off and just read it on paper. So anyway, what else? At the end of week 4, the module, we have assignment 2, and I put it at the end because I want you guys to go through everything before you start this assignment, because it's basically a worksheet. And when I say worksheet, I really mean worksheet. It's a Word document that you guys need to download, and I want you guys to basically put your name up here and then just go through the instructions, follow the instructions, and do whatever it tells you to do. So input your answers in all of these highlighted spaces. But if you don't go through the materials in Module 4, you may be very confused. So it's important that you know what you're doing, or that you understand a bit of what this assignment is talking about before you attempt to answer all these questions. So all that I want you to do is download this, follow the instructions, input your answers, save it, and then turn it back into Canvas. That's all you have to do. There are 20 questions total, and each one is worth 2 points for a total of 40 points. And that is due Sunday, September 13th. I also wanted to show you guys, I changed the homepage a little bit. I know that we haven't really been following the schedule that I set at first, but that's why I called it a tentative schedule. I cut it in half basically to make it more viewable, so you don't have to scroll all the way down. But I've started putting the week that we're on in bold, and any assignments that are due, I've been highlighting them. I've changed the due dates. I think I'm going to do, when we do discussion posts, I'm going to have it mostly be a 2-part, and your first discussion post is going to be due Friday, and then your response to one of your classmates is going to be due Sunday. So everything in that module, I think, will be due Sunday from now on. And I'm still trying to post on Friday or Saturday. So that's that. I also wanted to tell you about this. This is even more citation help. So the module that I borrowed it from another library, and I basically split it in half. The materials that are in week 4 are the basics, like the introduction to citations and what a scholarly article is. But throughout the semester, if you need help figuring out, like if you have a tricky source and you're not sure exactly how to cite it, you can just go down to this module right here, and it's linked on the front page, which is why I brought you there. But it is much more specific, and it shows you lots of examples. So that's really useful, and I hope that it will help you in the future. It can even help you out with your assignment 2 if you have trouble like understanding parts 3 and 4. So I just really hope that this week helps everybody to get a better understanding of citations and how to figure out what a peer-reviewed article is and how to find it. If you already know how to do most of this, then it'll be easy, but from what I can tell, most people needed at least a refresher. So I just want to make sure that you guys can do this, because it's really important to know just being in college. So what else? Next week we will have our first exam. It'll be at the end of the week. It will be a timed exam. It'll be on Canvas, like through Canvas. But you'll have plenty of time to do it, so don't worry about that. And it'll be a mixture of multiple choice, short answer, matching maybe, and maybe some short essay. And when I say short essay, I just mean a paragraph, so it's not going to be intense. And it's on Canvas, so it'll be open note and open book, so you'll have all your resources with you. So you should be able to do just fine. And next week we will have a Zoom meeting to have a review for the exam. So you guys can, that's optional, but you guys can drop in, and if you have any questions, we can discuss them and just go over all the topics that we've talked about. And we'll give you a list of topics to study, and it'll be a bigger list of topics than we might actually use for the test, because we're not going to make it that easy. But everything that we will use for the test will be on the list of topics to study. So if you make sure that you know most of the things on the list, then you should be well prepared. Also next week, we're going to start reading Educated, so make sure that you have that book. It's linked in the syllabus, so we'll start reading, I think, the intro and the first chapter, so just get ready, have it ready, and I think that's about it. As always, feel free to ask me questions about anything you might be confused on. I know that sometimes I post things and they're not the clearest, but I just assume that people understand, but that's not always the case, so please let me know if you guys are confused about anything. Canvas is also weird, and I understand that too, so always feel free to reach out and email me or call me. You can also email me through the Canvas inbox here. So, yeah, I think that's all. You guys have a good week.